Hi friends, I've missed you all so much. I'm August, this is Cozy Rosie Reads, and this is the start of a little reading vlog. I truly have missed you all so much. I've been in my busy season at work. Winston's chirping in the background as always. I hope you all missed him too. He definitely missed you all. So yeah, work has been eating up most of my time, but I've also been trying really hard to balance work with taking nights off and doing really fun things with my partner. Go to pumpkin patches, go to concerts together. So if you've been here since last year, then you might know like this time of year, I was really struggling. Was mentally really not doing well, and I'm just so happy to have healthy boundaries. So cheers to healthy boundaries, my friends. Just thank you so much for being here. I hope you all are doing really well. I hope your fall season has been cozy and magical and whimsical. It is currently October 29th and I'm photographing a wedding today, so I have to get dressed pretty soon. I have to leave pretty soon. I'm gonna make some breakfast, chug some coffee, and then later tonight my partner and I are going to a friend's house for a Halloween party, so we're gonna get dressed up today. Hopefully I can show you all the little weird outfit I put together. I kind of created a little character for this. I'm gonna be like an angel alien, an alien angel. But the reason I wanted to start this vlog is because tomorrow is the annual book sale at the library. And this is a year that I'm actually gonna check out the downtown library branch, which is like, the downtown library is the most beautiful place. It is so stunning and I never go there. I haven't been there in like 4 years. So tomorrow my dad, partner, and I are gonna go to the downtown library to go to the library book sale, and I'm so excited. I've heard that every single book there is gonna be 50 cents. I'm jazzed, I'm stoked. I don't need any more books, but I love going to these library book sales so much. But then in a few days as well, on November 4th, is another library book sale, the one that my dad and I go to every year together. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna take you all along with us for the 2 library book sales. They're back to back basically. And we're gonna kind of maybe do like a little haul to show you what's there. I'm just really excited to spend time with my dad because we go every single book sale there is at the library, we try to go. So I'm really super duper excited. First off, a little catch up. Halloween was fantastic, even though I had a wedding. It was super fun, got super dressed up. I had glitter absolutely everywhere. There is still glitter absolutely everywhere. I will never do that again. It was such a mistake. Despite the fun times, I fell asleep on my friend's couch by 11:30 p.m. and then we went home by midnight. So I wasn't partying hard, but did end up getting some cool photos of that. On to the book haul though, my friends. I've just been working from home the past few days. Like that's all I'm gonna be doing until my partner and I go on vacation in a few days. We're leaving on Monday, so in like 5-6 days we're going on vacation. We're taking 3 days, we're unplugging, going out into the nature, into the woods. We're traveling, got an Airbnb out in the middle of kind of almost nowhere, in the middle of a forest, and we're just gonna bring books, no work, no laptop, and just be. And I really need that because I'm in my full swing busy season, but I have so much work to do before then, so not super fun to talk about. I'm done talking about work, but onto the book haul, my friends. I filled up this bag with books because everything was 50 cents, and oh my gosh, I got some really, really wonderful ones. So every single book except for one I had like never heard of. I cannot express how jazzed I am about these books and how excited and inspired they make me. I really have not been reading a whole lot, and like I just want to bring all of these with me to our vacation. I can't read 10 books while like in 3 days on vacation, but they just inspire me that much. So this is kind of going in backwards chronological order of the ones I picked up. So the last book I picked up was The Art Lover by Carol Maso. It has all of these like astrological signs and constellations on it, which is super cool, but this just sounds so cool, and there are like little illustrations in here. It just sounds like my perfect book. It is What is the Power of Art in the Face of Death? This is a moving narrative about a woman experiencing and reliving the most painful transitions of her life. After the death of her father, Caroline, the novel's protagonist, returns to New York City, where her memory and imagination conspire to parade all her griefs and joys and a rebellious progression before her. In different voices, employing a collage-like fragmentation, Maso gently unfolds the art lover in much the same way the fragile prehistoric fiddlehead fern unfolds throughout the novel, opening into full and tender view the ever-entangled nature of love. Oh my gosh, that sounds exactly like the kind of book I love, where it's like really surreal and odd and fragmented and confusing, but all about just like love and loss and death and mortality and stars, and I don't even know how to explain it, but like I am just so excited. There's like little pictures. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this one. I really, really hope I enjoy it. But there's some classic paintings in here. It's a lot about art. These tiny little fragments. I honestly have no idea. I have no idea what to expect, but like it sounds like 1000% my style of what I enjoy reading, and I'm so excited. So there's that one. Disquiet by Julia Lee, which is like this very cool small square book, and it has deckled edges and it's super thin. So this takes place in a chateau in rural France, and it's this woman. She brings her 2 young kids to her mother's chateau, but the reunion is far from joyful. It's a darkly beautiful and atmospheric story that will linger in the mind. So I am very excited for this, and it's just like a really cute small little book. It sounds very atmospheric, very wonderful for this winter season maybe, because it is so short. So I got that as well. Then I got this other, every book I'm gonna say I got this really cool book, but I got this really cool book called Meet Me in the Moon Room by Ray Vukshevek. I'm so sorry. This is a collection of short stories. It just sounds so, once again, up my alley. Should be as revered as Salvador Dali in the pantheon of modern surrealists. And if you've been here for a while and you know me, I love surrealism, especially in literature. It's so good. So yeah, it's just a collection of short stories. Love this cover. Love the title, Meet Me in the Moon Room. So some of the short stories we have here. Look at how many. Finally Fruit, No Comet, Pink Smoke, Message in a Fish. Like it just all sounds so up my alley. There's one called White Guys in Space. I'm so excited. Oh, so excited for this one. It's been a while since I've read short stories, but I'm always trying to like get back into it. So there is that as well. I'm so excited. All these books. Ah! Okay, moving along. This is one that I got solely because I love the cover. That is The Ornatrix by Kate Howard. Sorry, all these books have such bad like reflection, but really, really cool cover. And this is like a gothic historical fiction, and it follows a woman who is born with a bird-shaped blemish across her face, and she spends most of her life hidden from the outside world, and then things happen. It's described as having like very beautiful details and period pieces in this. I also got that. And then the one book that I had heard of and I found is Salvation of a Saint by Kigo Higashino, and this is a thriller. I don't remember if it's a series or not. Yes, so it is a part of a mystery thriller series. I've not read the first one, but this has been on my want to read list on Goodreads or Hoopla or something like that for years. So it was so cool to see this. I might need to read the first one before I read this. I think this is the second one because it does say that it's a detective. Galileo returns in a new case of impossible murder, and it's about like lacing coffee with poison. It's a Tokyo police detective. I'm always looking for like a really fun thriller, but I actually prefer my thrillers to be translated and from other countries. I don't know why, like it flows almost better, and this copy is translated by Alexander O. Smith. So there is that. Then I found two really cool books of poetry. Can we just take a moment to admire their covers? Because stunning. I'm in love. So first here we have Vanitas Ruff by Lisa Russ-Spar with this beautiful like pomegranate on it. These just look amazing. I was just like casually flicking through, and the writing style is just beautiful and I really like it, and I'm always wanting to get more into poetry and I just don't know how. So I think these like smaller poetry books would be perfect for me to read in like an afternoon. But listen to this. Split glazed oyster shells, death blowing soap bubbles. Out the orbital sockets, glycerin, filming a halved walnut. Taut brains of meat, a tinged pink. Tulip petal falls toward. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm so excited. So that's a really tiny little book of poetry. I'm so jazzed, my friends. A Young Tambling. And on the back it says based on a true story, but a lot of these things in here just sound so over the top and so cool. There's also some paintings or illustrations, and then some very like ominous things going on here where the text is like whited out and you can only see a little bit of it. But absolutely love this cover and some writing. This just seems like a perfect book of poetry, stories, narratives, like just a hodgepodge of things. This is, again, just so my style of almost like this art journal, fragmented storytelling and surrealism and what's true, what's not, and I'm so excited. Then I found a copy of Man Alive by G.K. Chesterton. I personally have never heard of this author or this book, but on the back it does say it was first published in 1912. Follows the joy of being alive, and it follows this person, Innocent Smith, who was taken up by a fierce wind one day and dropped on the lawn of a boarding house inhabited by a group of disillusioned young people. His arrival has a rejuvenating effect on this dull group. In the course of the book, Smith courts and remarries his wife repeatedly, lives in various houses, which all turn out to be his own, and attempts murder, but only succeeds in firing life into his victims. I'm so excited for this like old 1912 classic, quote unquote. I don't know, has anyone read this, heard of it? Please don't spoil it, but I am so excited for this one. This sounds very much up my alley, again, with the absurdism, the surrealism. It just sounds like so much fun. I'm geeking out. I love it. I'm so excited. Pumpkin! Don't do that, pumpkin. All right, nearing the end here, my friends. Two more books that I got from the book sale, and then I have another little book haul because I went grocery shopping yesterday and we won't talk about it. Okay, then I got The End of Tragedy by Rachel Ingalls, which is 4 novellas. Oh my gosh, this cover. Once again, these covers are just mwah, mwah, mwah to me. They're so beautiful. So yeah, these are 4 novellas. Once again, this is an author that shifts subtly between the everyday and the surreal. Am I predictable or am I predictable? Very excited for this one. Another little short story collection, but so up my alley. I'm so excited. If it's anything similar to the Matisse stories by A.S. Byatt, which I read earlier this year and made me really, really fall in love with short stories again, I'm gonna love this. So 4 novellas. And then the last book, which is also the first book I picked up, I went straight to the like biography memoir section, is actually Up at Oxford by Ved Mehta. This is a memoir by Ved, or Ved, I'm not entirely sure, who was born in India and educated in the United States and England, and is the author of 19 books and hundreds of articles and stories. This is about Ved arriving at Oxford and just detailing the classes he took, the environment, and also being a blind man. So going through these like rigorous classes, being an immigrant, but also blind, and the culture and all these things, and just flipping through it. Like, it is pretty dense, but it like just flipping to this one titled Beginnings, Visions, Dreams. In the magical days of my second year, I became for a time a member of a loose literary circle centered on a prodigy of a poet, Dom Moraes. Time and time again, he brought us together. So it's just all about living at Oxford. I think he was there in the 1950s. Very intrigued with this one. I don't think this would be a book that I'd read anytime soon, most likely. I feel like this one would be perfect for next fall, like dark academia kind of feelings. So there is that. So those are all the books that I got at the library book sale. But a few days ago, my partner and I have been going on a lot of walks lately just because I've been cooped up in the apartment working nonstop and I'm losing my mind a little bit. So we went for a walk and I found a copy of The Little Prince in a little free library. You have some stickers and some writing on it, but it's fine. This is such a beautiful edition. It's very well loved and a little bit older. I am so excited to finally read it. I've heard so many wonderful things, that this is people's like favorite book of all time, that it makes them emotional and cry, that it's a comfort read. So I'm super excited. I went grocery shopping yesterday. I took the morning off to get some groceries done. And while I was at the stores, I found some very cheap books, which makes me super duper happy. Once again, this book is 100% I love the aesthetic of the cover by, and that's The Divines by Ellie Eaton. And this is a debut novel, but even the premise sounds really intriguing to me, like perfect for like spring or summer. It follows like an all-girls boarding school, which I've read quite a few of before. And it's about like womanhood, about sexuality, femininity, like female friendship. Those are just themes and topics and tropes that I really, really personally enjoy reading from. So I'm actually very, very excited for this one. I feel like it would just be a really fun romp, but also maybe hopefully having beautiful writing and fun premises. Also, this hardcover color is just so yummy and delicious. And then, my friends, most exciting of all, I feel like, I went to Dollar Tree yesterday, and I always like casually look at their books because you never know. Sometimes they get shipments, sometimes it's the same books over and over and over again. This time they had a freaking copy. They had multiple copies of Gingerbread by Helen Oyeyemi. It is in large print, but like I have been wanting to read this book for years, and I am so geeked and grateful and excited. I got this for $1. Like, that blows my mind, and I'm so happy and I'm so excited. And I honestly love large print so much. It's this beautiful floppy paperback. Large print is so underrated for me. Like, it helps me read. It helps me read faster. It helps me feel like I'm reading more. I don't lose my page. I don't lose my spot as easily, which is fantastic. So I can't believe I found a copy of this. I'm so excited. So yes, these are all the books that I have gotten just in the past like week. I don't have any room on my bookshelves. I also have not been reading a whole lot, so I'm very sad. But this winter, I think things are really gonna slow down for me personally in terms of work, and hopefully I can read more and then hence make more videos and vlog more. But right now, I almost feel like I'm like at a collector status where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to read these, and then like don't read. So I'm gonna get back to work. I have so much more I need to do today. And then in like 2 or 3 days, I'm gonna go to another book sale with my dad. We're gonna see if there's anything there, but hopefully it'll be a little bit more of like a mellow vibe and I can give you guys a book haul later. And then this weekend I have a wedding, and then boom, we're going on vacation. And then the next weekend I have a wedding, and then editing. And then hopefully come December, I can start like having more regular content with you all. That'd be great. All right, there's a siren. That is my cue to go. I will check in with you all a little bit later. Hope you all are doing really well. Okay, bye.
So is it dad?
I just got back
Paul.
from the library book sale round 2.
Oh, this is round 2? Oh, that's right. Last week was round 1.
Yeah.
All right. Better haul this time.
I didn't get to see the books you got last time.
I only got 3. But anyway, this haul.
Yeah.
Number 5. Read the first 2. Someday I'll get to that one. Not a big priority in my book reading life, but I enjoyed it. Crossing to Safety. Well, I read his book when we went to New York and stayed with Mel Foop.
You wrote Angle Over Repose.
Angle Over Repose, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I go, oh, gonna read that.
Is Angle Over Repose good? Because I had a copy of it and then I donated it back because I was like, I don't think I'm actually gonna read it.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's sad. It just looked like kind of like dense, so.
Yeah.
You know.
This looked fun. Reddy Doyle, Eddie Clark, ha ha ha. It's a Penguin classic, so I go, must be something. I don't know why I got this one. Oh, was shortlisted for the Booker Prize. That's always I kind of go, okay. So David Maloff, Remembering Babylon.
I like the cover.
We the Animals looked interesting. National bestseller. I never get bestsellers, but it's thin. It looks like it's about kids' childhood. Saul Bellows' last book. I read one of his a long time ago.
Oh.
It was really good. I read that one.
I like the cover.
Yeah. Written in 2000, so it was his last book. Paris Wife. It's about Hemingway's first wife when they go to Paris. Oh. And he struggles to be him and she struggles with him being him.
Oh.
Okay. So, and I love Paris in the 20s.
Yes.
Because I like rhinoceros.
I was going to say Midnight and Betty.
Midnight and Betty. Yeah. So that's it.
Oh, nice. A good haul.
It is. Way more than I expected. I go, I get 1 or 2.
That's a good stack.
Cool.
Nice.
Can't wait.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna go get pizza. Hi friends, it's another day. Here to share a little book haul from the last library book sale I went to with my dad. I hope you've enjoyed the weird montages of random life spliced into this vlog as well. This was just supposed to be like a library book sale, but it's been a really lovely time. Winston's in his tunnel right there. Today is a wedding day. It's Sunday. After today, my partner and I are going on vacation and I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited to be out in nature and just read and like completely disconnect from emails and work and social media. And so I'm so excited to like disconnect, be out in nature, read a ton of books, hopefully. Just be with my partner and I'm so excited. I can't express how excited I am. So once I get through today, big wedding day today, and I can relax and have fun. So anyway, on with the books, my friends. Second library book sale was amazing. Like hardly anyone was there. There was like no one in this library book sale. But yeah, my dad and I were there for quite a while and I found some really, really wonderful things. We have a lot of classics. I actually found quite a few classics for this one. I'm super excited because these classics specifically are a little bit shorter and that makes me really, really happy. So first is actually Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke. I have not read any Rilke yet. This is such a cool edition. I know nothing. I've heard really wonderful things. I've heard that a lot of people's like favorite poet of all time is Rilke, and I'm very excited, although this is not necessarily his poetry. It is just like straight up letters. So there's that. Then I got a copy of Albert Camus' first novel, which is A Happy Death. It's a very cool vintage copy as well. And this one sounds super interesting. It's translated by Richard Hauer. Through young Patrice, the protagonist, the reader feels in touch with the young Camus, his joy in the sea, sun, his native Algeria, his relationships with women, the intense alienation he experienced as a traveler in Central Europe. And it is from his early intimations of death, movingly evoked, that the novel draws its theme, how one is to live in order to have the right death. So very, very curious about this one. I read The Stranger many, many years ago. Very cool find. Very, very cool find. Then I found a classic that I have read, I fell in love with when I was in middle school. I think I read this one in middle school. And that's Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury. It's so beautiful. This is the epitome of summer to me. This book is the epitome of summer. When I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, it became my new favorite book of all time. And I just devoured this. I was like, I didn't know writing could be like this, which it just flows and feels so poetic. And it triggered my synesthesia in like the most beautiful ways. Like the writing was like honey. It's like sweet and syrupy and so tangible to me. Like it's just, the colors, the taste, the texture, all of it. It's so good. So Dandelion Wine. I have not read it since 6th grade though. My partner has never read it, so I thought this was a perfect addition to our home. I would love for my partner to read it, or maybe us to read it out loud to each other during the summer. We've been reading out loud to each other at night, and that's been so, so delightful. So maybe this will be one we read next summer to each other. Oh, this book is so good. I love it. I love it way more than Fahrenheit 451 or Something Wicked This Way Comes. So I really enjoyed this one. Okay, moving along with some more classics. I am so happy to let you all know that I did find a copy of 84 Charing Cross Road by Helen Hunt. Oh my gosh, and I got this beautiful edition. Woo! Which is perfect because I ended up not donating my copy of the Duchess of Bloomsbury. I still have it. Let me grab it. Voila. They go together perfectly. I'm so happy I have both of these like vintage editions. And the like beautiful 60s, 70s covers. Stunning. So now I finally have, I was contemplating getting rid of this because I was so doubtful I'd find a copy of 84 Charing Cross Road, but I did. Beautiful. I'm so excited to read these. Oh my gosh. One of these books is very dusty. I'm going to sneeze. Oh my gosh. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Then I found Still Life by A.S. Byatt. I read my first Byatt earlier this year in March. The Matisse Stories, which is a collection of short stories. Fell in love with A.S. Byatt's writing so much. I was like, if I read more by this author, will she become a new favorite of mine? So I found Still Life, which is a chunkier book. I honestly have not read the back at all. And I also found a copy of her other novel, which is very well known. And a copy of Possession as well. Chunky, floppy paperback. Same with this one. Definitely not as chunky, but wow. Possession and Still Life. I'm so excited. So grateful both of these were here. Their covers make me feel like it might be historical fiction, literary fiction. I honestly don't want to read the backs. I'm sorry, I don't. I'd like to go into these books not knowing anything, so that way I can just be like swept up into it. I don't want any expectations. I already feel like my expectations are high because I enjoy the Matisse stories so much. I'm just so excited to read more by A.S. Byatt. I'm so excited. So those are those. Then I also found this super duper cool copy of The Strange Library by Haruki Murakami. Library sticker on it. Honestly, don't know how this hasn't fallen apart. You open it as such. Little ditty on there. And then as such. And then you read it. It has all these illustrations and funky things, but it's a story. But it's very short, especially with how large the text is. So I don't know anything about it. I'm very excited, very curious. Then I found a book that I think is going to be super cool, though there is no plot description on it whatsoever. I just love the cover so much. The Story of My Teeth by Valeria Lucelli, which is translated by Christina McSweeney. I do believe this is translated from Spanish. The book takes place in Mexico City. I have no idea what it's about. One of the blurbs on the back does say, one of the most unforgettable images in any book this year is that of Gustavo Highway Sanchez, the protagonist of Lucelli's delightfully unclassifiable novel, walking around the streets of Mexico City, smiling at people with the teeth of Marilyn Monroe installed in his mouth. These off-the-wall turns are surprising and charming, but above all, there is an insatiable hunger for storytelling in these pages. I'm so excited. It sounds so up my alley with like humor, quirk, weird, surreal, odd, maybe magical realism, I'm not sure, but very, very much so up my alley, as well as translated fiction. We love to see it. Okie dokie. The last two books then, my friends, both are hardcover books. Both books I have not heard of, but look very intriguing. The first is The Exhibition of Persephone Q. This is by Jessie Jezeweska Stevens. Stunning cover. This is like a literary fiction about a woman who sees images of herself in a museum that were taken without her knowledge, or she believes them to be herself. It's almost like this science fiction surreal kind of thing, and it's all about having autonomy in the online world, which is something I think about constantly, like constantly think about, because it scares me. I think technology is terrifying. I've just always found social media like kind of freaky and creepy, and I don't know if I like it. I don't like it, and then I go through phases of like whatever, everyone's on it anyway, and then I hate it, and I get freaked out again, and it's the age we're in right now. But it's all about that, having autonomy in the online world versus the physical, exterior, tangible world, but both worlds are real now. It's very interesting, so I'm very curious about this one. Literary fiction, pretty short. Sounds very intriguing. And then lastly, my dear friends, we have The Swan Thieves by Elizabeth Kostova, which is, don't know a whole lot about. Love the cover once again. Aesthetics are on point with all these books that I've gotten. Don't really know much about this one. All I saw when I was skimming the dust jacket, a haunting novel of art and obsession, a mystery spanning continents and centuries, a love story that crosses the ultimate border. And then I just saw renowned painter, National Gallery of Art, destroying art. As these women paint a portrait of love, betrayal, artistic obsession, troubled genius, century-old love letters, France, late 1800s. Those are the words that I saw. And I was like, intrigued. Yes, I'm just gonna get it. So there's that. Don't know exactly what the plot is, but all those keywords did something in my brain. They're like, yeah, keywords. We like those keywords. That sounds great. So I got that as well. All right, so yes, these are all the books that I got in the second book sale. It was such a success. I had such a wonderful time perusing bookstores, hanging out with my dad, hanging out with my partner, going to the library, supporting the library, giving my money to the library, having super duper cheap books, classics, weird books I've never heard of, surrealism. I'm just such a happy gal, like honestly. And then here's the other stack from the first library book sale. But thank you all so incredibly much for being here, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this very strange, odd little vlog. I love vlogging. I've genuinely missed you all so much. I've missed creating. I've missed seeing your wonderful comments and just being able to be a little bit more active in the reading bookish world and community. So instead of doing a book stack emoji, if you made it to the end of this one, let's do some like writing emojis in honor of like the authors. How many wonderful authors we get to read from in this lifetime and from these book sales and everything. So let's do like a little, you know, you could do even like a little feather as a quill, the little parchment scroll emoji, a pencil, whatever, just writing I think would be lovely. Just thank you again so incredibly much for being here, friends. I really hope I can get back to making regular content for you all soon and reading and talking about some wonderful books. Thank you again, friends, and I can't wait to see you all again very soon for my next video. Stay cozy, my friends. Bye!